right, here we go again. Buckle up.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, I purchased new creamer, a variety I've never purchased before from a store I've never been in before. Although I did investigate, they do have the two different types of seals. Now, if a spy uses that also as a psychological torture tool. So they'll drug you based upon that change of packaging. And in fact, the packaging I chose was the more secure packaging. It's simple. I'm not going to go into all the ways spies can drug you. You can figure it out. If they can get their finger there, they can drug you. But I already drank 4 to 5 times as much coffee as I did the other day. And I've been drugged before. They'll say it's an organic condition. That's what they're paid the gold bars and untraceable cash to say. So again, remember, these people that are sovereign citizens, these people that are anti-ICE, spies in our community, again, Kroll ran a spy organization. He moved untraceable cash and gold bars back and forth with, as well as other people, for personal gain. They'll play the game that we can't handle the truth, and this is how America stays free as we increase in bondage every day, which they bless. McCabe and Comey are really closet communists, closet Soviets. Well, because they become so paranoid, they want absolute fascism, and then they point at Trump, who's doing a whole bunch of stuff to help people. It's just going to take time. The Democrats destroyed the world. Trump's trying to fix it. Would I do it exactly as him? No. But it doesn't, if he's 70% correct, then that's enough. Because the Democrats are about 5% correct. The idea that they're going to, take care of people, that's a good idea. It's noble. But again, why do they put that much money out there? So they and their cronies can steal it to fund the communism, the Sharia law, and everything other bullshit that, like sovereign citizen. I'm sure it came from them. That's not it could be somewhat of a libertarian movement, a wacko, because libertarians are generally not that aggressive. But I'm sure the Democrats are part of it. Now they've been waging the revolution, like I said, spycraft style. Some Democrats aren't responsible. They're like, what the hell are we doing? Right? Like what's her name? Billy, I know her middle name. I got to remember her name. Ethel, Billy, her last name will be held in secrecy. The former Navajo Attorney General, she's not a Democrat that would ever do any of that. No, she's, again, people in positions that are helping people deserve to have money, and I'm sure she's on board with that. Like, we're not telling you to be poor, but it's unfathomable what you're all doing with the funding. So the idea is this: when you come up to a traffic stop, when it happens, when a cop comes up to your car, you hand over your identification. If you don't have it, take it on the chin. Hey, I don't have it. I don't have one. You'll probably get further with that. Well, my life, this, the cop might go, okay, park the car. Can you call your mother or somebody like that? You might get away with it, And then cops should understand from the other side, hey, when somebody says that, a hard luck story, yeah, if you believe it a little bit, maybe you need to just tell them, pull it over and give them a warning. Right. Again, the psychology on how it works. The more you get tough with somebody at a traffic stop that simply, just can't even get out of their own way in life, and they come clean to you. Find a diversion program real quick. I wasn't DWI drunk, but I had a couple drinks, and I waited and waited. My vehicle malfunctioned. I still believe to this day that most likely the deep state sabotaged it. Because what's his name drove off the road at this. I didn't know anything about these people. Like I didn't know anything about Matt Fogg. Somebody said, like Matt Burke said something about him. He didn't like him, of course, And I'm just like, for me, it's like just fluff. Like whatever. I got to do my job. That's what I'm focused on. Right. I was a sapper, man. I mean, I was still linked, to that discipline. I mean, that's just, it doesn't help the mission, then it's not essential. And worse than that, it's dissension and all that other stuff, and that'll cause issue for the larger operation. Right. Well, I found that, that Matt Fogg existed, and then like years later, I found Bill Scott, even though I had that CBS News article about racism. And again, it's actually good to be black in the Marshal Service if they're going to do that to you, because you can say it's racism, and a lot of times it is. But when you're like white, the male, it's like, what's your excuse? Why did we go after you? But again, I was a difficult person for them because they wanted to get KB. Right. And then, she's a black woman, and she stands her ground in every argument, even when she doesn't have to. So they couldn't get her with me. I'm not going to do that. Right. Not going to set her up as her partner. Right. They would for gold bars and untraceable cash. But they hated her. As a black woman stands her ground, even when she doesn't have to. and she was proficient, you know what I mean? Right. Wasn't somebody just a slough off, Right. We turned out some good people in that office, but boy, there's, the people that deep stated, I can't. Right. We were the greatest district, right? Like in what, like 2000 or something? Right. 1999, 2000, something like that. Right. Marshall McKinney stopped by my desk personally to give me the award because I had been on sick leave. That was one of those mysterious things, man. Right. Doctors couldn't find anything. We know who can do that. But again, anti-ISIS causing the shootings. It's psychology. You got to get intelligent. The agencies and departments need to start speaking about the psychology of the environment, all the things. You're supposed to be tougher than the environment. But again, they're developing These are spycraft activities. These are spy-driven attacks on ICE. Well, there's really, it's going to cause degradation of the operation, which is illegal. Just being out there doing that while they're lawfully moving through the community enforcing law is illegal. There's no such thing as a protest. You can't protest an active law enforcement activity. Because in the law, it's just like speaking hate speech. In the law, hate speech is criminal. In the law, you don't have the right to protest a place that is restricted from protest. An active law enforcement activity is restricted from protest. Now, I may not have gone to the taser as fast as this officer in that news article, but he's probably right. But again, what caused it? Let's go back to the but for. The but for is a legal theory. There is an origination, there is a causation of the end result, or at least an intermediary result, which may have caused an end result. But for that guy resisting the traffic stop, which is illegal in itself, there would have been no taser. Could that officer have been having a bad day? Yeah, we all do. Could he have waited a minute more? Maybe. But a minute more, they may have went fisticuffs. There's no reason that Americans aren't asked to identify themselves. It's just bullshit to resist it anyway. If the cop has his camera or her camera on, you'll be identified faster than anybody else in the world. And then there'll be a notation in a file about how you resist this idea of identification, it doesn't matter if you don't have to. It's stupid. Whoever told you not to identify yourself to a police officer is either a co-conspirator in a crime with you or just an idiot. How do you think we catch rapists in history? How do you think they call it Malvo? Traffic stop, identification. Muhammad and Malvo, the snipers in D.C. Don't you want to be part of that? Don't you want to say, if it's illegal use of your identity is illegal, that's a different issue. I've had my information sold by cops. Gold bars and untraceable cash. Or you go to buy a 1967 Impala that you like in New Mexico, and it's a $50,000 vehicle, you get it for 10. That's another way they do it. It's another way they launder money. Right. I know, because somebody every so often gets in there and drops the price on something for me. But I'm doing good stuff. Right. Not so much anymore. They did in the beginning. I think they were, because they were paying me for my work. That's what you do. The CIA has it on a system, it's supposed to be honest, where they pay you. And it doesn't have to look like they pay you. You buy something, it's cheap. They make sure they get the price down. They may be a business they control. Right. If you're looking for a car, they steal you to the car lot. Like in my case, if they had messed up my life, the DEA would have steered me to one of the car lots and sold me one of the cars cheap. Because that's how we help people that help the government. You can't always pay them because you don't want that relationship discovered. Again, it's lawful. Right. It's a covert payment. And that's why I said about USAID, some of that was CIA payment, but over time it was developed that a lot of it was corrupt. But you can't just run it. That's where I told you, that's where, I don't know if y'all heard me or not. They could have been blocking me. That's where Elon went wrong. He went in there like a bull in a china shop. You can't do that because some of that stuff is legitimate. Now, they turned it over to Rubio and his people, knowing, I think that's what they did when they heard what I said. And then they would decide, what was a legitimate spy payment because they were cleared to understand that mechanism. But based upon what we know, there's some just cronyism going on. Right? Just like the immigrant payment, same thing. I mean, you may find Trump wrong, but Trump's people are about 70% correct, I'd say. They could do, again, we're talking about, you can do a different type of thing. Whereas the Democrats were only like 5% right. Their big thing is, let's help people. Okay, that's noble. Even Trump says, let's help people if we can swing it and do it the right way. Right. But you stole the money. And you made it so big with no checks and balances, there's no way to figure out where all the money went. And again, we can only go back so many years. There's people sitting out there on kingdoms of money. And the FBI knows they stole it. Can't do anything. Statute of limitations. So again, just simply turn your ID over. That's how we catch rapists, terrorists, other people. Now, if you're a criminal, you're shit out of luck. I don't give a shit that you don't want to turn your ID over, because you're going to be ID'd anyway. If you refuse to identify yourself, you will be identified. And you could have a file generated on you. And it's lawful. They have to know who is who. Right. Well, because if you deny the government the right to identify you, because again, what's the real world? I don't care what the law is. Because there is an investigation going on. And if you're refusing to identify yourself, absolutely. Law enforcement, investigative science, police science will tell you there is a good chance that that person committed some crime. And there's also a good chance that that person will resist arrest in the future if they were to be arrested. And there's other things also. You're going to be identified. And you're going to be, in other words, if I turn over my license, what are they going to do? They're going to run me for warrants or something like that. Or run you for warrants. If you don't turn over your license, they're going to investigate you. These judges are screwy because they know, I guess it's because of the legislature, some of it. They made laws where you don't have to identify yourself. These judges know that they would turn their license over. Right. Because I want to get on with my life. I don't want to talk to a cop any longer than I have to, unless we're, sharing a drink or something and talking about something, something like law enforcement. So again, I don't know where this idea is where you're a hero for resisting the traffic stop. I don't know where that comes from. You're women. Most of you are women in the Democratic Party. You get raped, right? That's how we find rapists. Why don't you cooperate? I know I want people identified in my neighborhood, no matter where I lived. I want a cop to be able to walk up and say, give me your ID. I want to know who you are. If you're not doing anything, what the hell does it matter? And if you are doing something, cops going to figure out who you are anyway. There's very few people in this country that can't be identified by their face. In fact, in most cities where they do this, again, sometimes it's out there with the Border Patrol and everyone else, but in the cities, you got cameras everywhere. They'll follow you home on the cameras and figure out where you live before they even look for who you are. So again, you're creating incidents that could cause violence. If an officer makes a mistake in good faith, there's nothing to it. Now you've charged people in communist governments in these cities. You've charged officers where they shouldn't have been charged. I don't know why the appeal doesn't go or why they don't appeal it, or because it violates the hindsight rules. What it is, the communist governments will sit there at a police officer with hindsight and say, you could have did this, you could have, but at that moment, that's all the cop could see. Police officers are the worst enemies when they're deep state. And some don't even consider them. Some consider themselves anti-deep state. But they'll go after an officer they don't like and allow the communist government to take them out. And then the case law gets generated. And the process gets enshrined, where they charge you for things there's no way that you could have known at the time of the traffic stop or whatever it is. if you don't like Trump's removal policy and deportation policy, blame the Democrats. If they did their job and didn't let these people in, there'd be nobody to deport. We'd actually still have a normal immigration system, bringing people in. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
Actually, it was supposed to have this slide on here, I guess. Where is it? I'll probably recreate it with that slide on there. Identification request at a traffic stop is safe and normal. Now, I'll just leave you with this. I have had fabricated statements used against me by government. That's illegal. I've had people, I'm sure, use traffic stops so he seemed like he had done something. That's illegal. That's fought in a different way. But the communists want you to do that. Why? Because they want people to be unsafe and say, we can make you safer. Then the communists are actually what they say Trump is. And that's reality. Somebody just revealed Zoran's game. It's Ayatollah game. I'm sure of it. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.